Good morning, children. So today we will be starting with the discrete series, that is ungrouped frequency distribution. A much better way of presentation of data to express it in the form of a discrete series. So better way we can present the data is in the form of discrete series. A discrete series is that series where individual values differ from each other by definite amount. In discrete frequency distribution, various values of the variable are shown along with their corresponding frequencies that we have seen earlier. Not this one. Like here, various values with their frequency. Okay. So here also in the discrete series, the same thing will happen. Okay. For a discrete variable, the classification of data is known as frequency array. In case of the individual series, it was only arraying of the data or arrays. Here it is called frequency array. In case of discrete variable, it is called frequency array. A discrete variable takes a definite integral value and not fractional value. So here also no fractional values are taken. We have frequencies corresponding to each integral values. Construction of discrete frequency distribution using tally marks. Now this is a thing which is very important. I will teach you today. So this I will be teaching you, but in case of tally you no need to study it now because it needs board work. Okay, children. So in this video you will not be able to understand. So for the monthly exam purpose, you will be studying only what is discrete series. Okay, only this thing, its definition and its characteristics. Okay, now we will move to what is called continuous series or grouped frequency distribution. As compared to a discrete variable, a continuous variable can take any value in an interval. A continuous series is that series which represents continuous variables showing ranges of values of different items of the series. So, a continuous series is that series which represents continuous variable. We have seen the earlier day also that there is an interval, and within that interval range, any amount of value can be taken. Okay, now important terms under continuous series. So this definition has to be studied nicely. Continuous series is that series which represents continuous variables showing range of values of different items of the series. Means any range of values can be taken within that range. Okay, and here measurements are done in terms of class intervals, that is within certain limits. Okay, here classes are framed without any break from beginning to end. So you just have to keep in mind this definition, and you have to keep in mind that measurements are expressed within a limit, within certain limits. The first important term is class. Okay, what is class? Class hereby means a group of numbers in which items are placed such as 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So this is class, means 0 to 10 is a class, 10 to 20 is a class, 20 to 30 is a class. The classes should be clearly defined and should not lead to any confusion. Means it should not be like 0 to 9, then 10 to 20, not like that. It should be in irregular intervals like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So it should be clearly defined. Okay, it should be exhaustive and mutually exclusive. So these are exclusive series, so that any value of the variable corresponds to one and only one of the class. Means 0 to 10 means any value between this range will come under this. After 10, from 11 to 20, anything will mean 0 to 9. 0 to 10 means any value between 0 to 10, that is up till 9, will come under this class. Then from 10 to 20 means 10 to 19. Then from 20 to 29 under the 20 to 30 class interval. So these are the mutually exclusive series. That means it means the values of the variable corresponds to only one class. Means the values will come under only one class. It will not overlap with the other classes. Okay. Now the number of classes. Now how many number of classes you will be taking depends largely on the investigator. Okay, there is no hard and fast rule regarding the number of classes, yet the number should be neither very large nor very small. So number of classes you will be taking depends on the investigator or depends on you. Okay, it is not mandatory that yes, you have to take large number of classes or small number of classes. It depends fully on you, but it should not be very large or very small. Okay, the number of classes should be between 5 and 15. If number of classes is less than 5, then every term will not be included in the proper way. Similarly, if it is more than 15, then calculations and computations become difficult. So if the number of classes are less than 5, obviously you cannot accommodate each and every values of the variable among those classes, because it will not be sufficient. But if it is more than 15, then calculations become difficult. Class limits. Okay. Now, class limit means the lowest and the highest values of the variables within a class is called the class limit. In continuous series, each class is located between two numbers. These two numbers make up the class limit. The lowest value of a class is known as lower limit L1. Highest value constitutes upper limit L2. Like if the class is 10 to 20, then lower limit is and upper limit will be 10 and 20 respectively. Means L1 will be 10, lower limit 20 will be the upper limit L2. It is convenient to have lower limit of a class either equal to 0 or some multiple of 5. Class limits should be whole numbers as far as possible, and such that every item of the given data is included in this. So to be very precise, lowest and the highest values of the variable is called the class limit. Now in the class interval of 10 to 20, 10 is the lower limit, 20 is the upper limit. Lower limit denoted by L1, upper limit denoted by L2. It should be in whole number so that every item is incorporated in this classes. Okay. Next we will be moving to the class interval.